went to go to get groceries. Which, by the way, if your cats eat Friskies, uh, there's no Friskies left right now.
Oh, my cats hate Friskies.
Lucky
They're
bitch.
bougie. Not lucky, dude. I have to buy like the $20 for a 5 pound bag of like blue diamond shit because one has a fucked up kidney, so she has to have special diet food, and two, that's just in the end the only thing that like they eat anymore. Like Coco doesn't even eat anything that we put in front of her. So Robbie still tries to go for like Cheetos and other human food. Zen's kind of low. Let me turn her up.
Okay,
Uh, but
Kitan, what like we have to give her wet food. Obviously, she has no teeth now.
mhm.
Somehow she still eats dry food. I don't know how she's doing it, but
She's just a
she's
badass.
very picky. So we've gotten her like different flavors of Friskies, and we've gotten her different brands, and she likes one flavor of one brand of wet cat food, and that was Friskies, the
Oh,
salmon shreds,
oh man.
and they are out.
Oh,
So,
that is actually terrible.
yeah, apparently there are supply issues with Friskies right now. So,
Fuck. I know Coco is also picky about wet food. She will only eat wet food that actually comes in like the chunks and gravy style.
ew.
She doesn't like shreds. She doesn't like pate. Like it's got to be chunks and gravy. And she really just eats the chunks and like around the gravy. But we went through a period where like we just literally couldn't find wet food that wasn't pate, and like we bought the pate because Sarabi will eat it. Coco just like was sad she wasn't getting wet food, so that we had to go and get fucking Fancy Feast. And no joke, I gave her chicken Florentine the other day. I opened it up, I was like, the fuck is this? It just looked like they just canned like human chicken Florentine.
God. Yeah, we tried the pate for Kitan, but she couldn't like get it out because no
No
teeth.
teeth.
So she would literally take her paw and scoop it out and eat it, and then flick her paw when she was done. And so it was getting everywhere. So we're like, "Fuck this! You're not getting that anymore." And it's shreds only because
Yeah.
they were just flicking it all over
Oh,
Alex instead.
oh gross. We had to
And
make
pate has that smell to it too. So
Yeah. We had to make a decision to put one of ours to sleep today. Aww.
no.
She had a good morning of bacon, chicken, and a burger. That dog would eat anything. Aww. I'm very sorry to hear that, Loki, but I'm glad that she had a really good last day with a lot of really good food. I had a burger for dinner too. We have so much in common.
I am having ice cream for dinner because I'm an adult.
I made uh my own french fries straight from the potato.
Nice.
And then we made truffle and Swiss burgers, which was just like a truffle oil with melted cheese and burger patty. How are we doing? I'm doing good. I'm tired.
I haven't
I'm
made
drinking coffee. Like,
my homemade chips in forever.
God, those are the fucking best. I think about them occasionally. It'll be like every couple of months, and I'm just like, I could make them myself.
You really could.
We have a fryer. We don't have a mandolin, though.
It's like it's the easiest food in the world to make. It's like just throw the potato in the chip shot, makes the chip shapes, fry that bad boy up,
It's just time consuming.
salt and pepper.
They're so good. You've
They are.
literally, That's literally the best chips like I've ever had in my life are your chips.
We do fry them in peanut oil. I don't know if you fry them in anything else.
Oh, no, I just do fucking Crisco like fat ass.
Oh, haven't used Crisco. No, we use peanut oil because apparently that's what they use in all the American restaurants that make their French fries taste so goddamn good.
That's what Five Guys uses. That's why you can get a big giant bag of peanuts from Five Guys.
Mm,
They
those
really
homemade chips.
feed into the peanuts thing.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. They taste so good, but I also eat myself sick on them. So like
Yeah.
I have to be very careful making those.
You have to do it when there's a whole group to
Yeah, to help eat them.
or
Although with our group,
just make one
like
potato's worth.
or in the case of our group, like I make one bowl of it and then like 2 seconds later, you guys are like, "So
Where's more?
yeah." Like god damn it, I'll go make some more. Y'all go fight. I'll do the bard thing from the kitchen.
You just have to like make them in advance and like bag them, and like everybody gets their own little Ziploc bag.
I could only imagine I'd be able to make everybody like a specific flavor. Like I could
Mm.
easily make Alex some ranch chips because I used to make him homemade ranch and with blue cheese, like blue cheese ranch dressing.
That sounds delicious. I would actually like that because I really do like blue cheese. I don't like the buttermilk taste of ranch. Like it's so sour. But I would eat
The
a blue cheese ranch because I like dill and garlic. Like,
I wouldn't be able to make it now because with COVID, Kroger's been closing their salad bar. But my hack for getting really cheap blue cheese is to just go to the salad bar and fill the container with blue cheese because they price it like salad. So I'm like, yes, I just have this giant container of blue cheese. So
you love blue cheese, you love stinky cheese, homemade ranch. Homemade ranch is, uh, like miles better than the fucking like Kraft Hidden Valley shit. But I'm still like not a huge fan of ranch. I don't like the taste of buttermilk.
the only dressing that I like is Caesar, like on a salad. I like to, when I was eating meat, I would actually marinate chicken in Italian dressing and then grill it up, which you guys
Ooh.
ended up liking a lot.
Yeah, that was very good. I remember
So
that. Um, I'm a heathen with salad dressing. Like if it's something I'm putting on an actual salad, it's vinegar and oil
lettuce and cheese is
and
my
salt.
jam. I've pissed off many a restaurant saying, "Hi, I just want a salad with just lettuce and cheese."
Yeah, because they pre-mix
And
it.
yeah,
It's a rough life for somebody going through and picking out the croutons and tomatoes from your salad.
it's like this. I can tolerate croutons, but tomatoes, like I hate tomatoes, and if it gets in the salad, it leaks everywhere.
And then you
It's
got
just
tomato ooze.
yeah, it's like when somebody had to pick that out because you can see tomato turds everywhere.
Lukey, you're objectively wrong. Stinky cheese is delicious. Brie is not a stinky cheese, but the best cheese of all cheeses. I baked brie on Sunday. It's all I ate all day. Just me and my sister between us split like a whole like 6-inch wheel of
Oh my god.
brie for both brunch and dinner. Um, and yeah, but stinky cheese is quite good.
To put my picture up
It's
for
gonna be the
for today.
nastiest shit you've ever seen. If you're gonna go out in style, Robin, right? I'm
The Demogorgon giving that nice come hither over the back.
gonna see
Have to
your
throw that
picture.
up.
Let me pull up yours. Ooh, oh god,
Yeah.
not that Demogorgon.
Yeah, it's the over the shoulder. It's
I
the
was
Demogorgon.
yeah. Uh,
Yep.
will we get banned on Twitch if I say it out loud?
If you post a picture of Demogorgon at just the head, it ends up in not safe for work on Reddit, according to What are you doing, Step Nancy?
No.
Um yeah, when I was doing my research on demo mains, on Reddit, they were posting pictures, like handmade drawings and stuff of
But with like a top
Demogorgon.
hat or a
Yeah,
cowboy hat, yeah.
it was marking it not safe for work.
I love that. I'm gonna
So
miss
weird.
I'm
I
gonna
have two
miss
cats right
Demo.
there, and one of them's very upset.
Oh no. I
But
had
no, we
Coco
do
up
miss
here earlier. I gave her catnip and then she ate it and fucked off. But she's still like right here on the floor next to me. She just refuses to get into the tree.
them. Since I moved my tree, Balrog likes to use it. Like, it kind of switched off. Like, it used to be the other two cats that were up there, and he sits up there now. I think it's just so he can glare at me, like, eye
From
level.
behind.
It's like, no
Just
matter what happens, if I have the camera on, I just, like, look up and I'm like, ah, shit, he's just sitting there being mad about his food being downstairs, isn't he?
still can't believe you did that to him.
I don't think he
It's
can
cruel.
believe it either.
Your 2020 was just last year. Give the guy a break.
I
Me
know. At least I
chatter.
waited until after Gotcha Day to put it down there. He got a whole month.
Fair enough.
It's like for his Gotcha Day, we literally just like fluffed up the bed for him. And then for Bahamut's Gotcha Day, we made him a small baked potato because he loves baked potatoes for some
It's
reason.
adorable.
So
We don't do gotcha day. Um, we could for Coco, but I would feel bad doing it for Coco and not for Sarabi. But I don't think my sister would be very into it for Sarabi because the whole reason she got Sarabi was because nobody in my family was emotionally capable of taking care of my sister after her grandma died. And so they were like,
oh.
"Here, have a cat."
Oh, that's great.
Right. So,
Like we don't really do Gotcha Days for the dogs because they've been spoiled as fuck. Like they take vacations on a regular basis. They've been to more states than most people have.
that's true, they have.
So we don't really do their gotcha days. And then Catan doesn't count because technically I never adopted her. She just moved in. Like there was never a point where I was like, okay, like I'm going to adopt this cat. She just moved in, got in a cat carrier, and she came home. She literally came through my other cat's cat door and just started living in her house.
I
And when I went to go move into the apartment, I opened up the cat carrier to get Kate Squaddle. She walked on in. I was like, well, fuck, got a cat.
I did that to my mom once when I was in high school. Or like early high school, probably ninth grade. It was between 8th and 10th grade. But we were sitting at the parking lot where we did the child swap, waiting for my dad to bring Josh and Cassie. And there was this stray little kitten that I just like spotted. Like I would just looked out the windshield, I just saw it across the parking lot. And I was like, "Mom, a cat." And we already had like 10 cats at home. Because we lived out in the country. They were all barn cats.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, "Mom, a cat. Can we have it?" And my mom just looked at me. She's like, "Yeah, sure, if you can catch it." Because, you know, it's a stray. I
Yeah.
literally opened up the car door and that kitten came running over to me and I just picked it up. And I was like, "We have a kitten now." And she was like, "Fuck." And it was so scrawny. And I was like, "It's hungry." So we went across the street to a Wendy's and just got like a plain hamburger. And I was just like sitting there like feeding it the Wendy's hamburger meat.
My God.
Because it was like an hour for us to get home from there to begin with. But I wasn't gonna like let it not eat for a long time.
So I got a cat like a long time ago because my first cats were Fat Boy and Fat Boy's brother.
Mm-hmm.
And they died in the same year as each other because they're brothers, they're the same age. Um, and I was like distraught.
No,
And I
no.
was like, I'm never going to have pets again. And then I saw this little orange tabby outside, and she didn't like people. Like she would come by, She would see if there were any scraps because, like, my dad would throw like bits of hamburger out in the yard because there was a dog that roamed the area. So he'd throw that stuff out, and then she would come by and like try and snag some pieces. And one day it was raining, and I saw her, and I was like, I'm gonna see if I can bring her inside because it was cold, it was rainy. And I approached her, and she ran into the woods, but I could still see her. And I was like, "Come here, kitty." And she was just like, "No." And she started crying. So I
Oh.
started making meowing sounds at her, and she just came running and jumped into my arms, and I carried her inside. So it was when I got Nico. She was absolutely precious. I loved her. She did not like other people though, and she liked to bring snakes in the house.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah,
I would not be
literally,
able to deal.
she would get pets. She actually like she caught not a raccoon, a chipmunk, and she brought it into my mom's office. And the reason we knew she was keeping it as a pet is because she brought it in and she dropped it behind the bookcase. And you would think that a cat would drop it behind there and like fuck with it or something. No, she would go and get food and drop it behind the bookcase for the chipmunk. And we were trying to figure out what the fuck she was doing. And finally we realized there was a chipmunk just sitting back there, like eating scraps that the cat brought her.
Oh.
So we're like, okay, we're getting rid of the chipmunk, threw the chipmunk out. And then one day I came home from school and I went to go get a bag of chips. You walk through the entranceway, you make a left into the kitchen, and I opened the pantry. And inside the pantry, next to the brown paper bag that had all the little snack chips, was a snake. So I closed the door and panicked and went to the phone to call my aunt. And then I turn around because I hear the sound of a cat door in my room. And here comes Nico. And she's got another snake in her mouth. And they're
Oh
all
my
alive,
God.
by the way. And so she flips open the bottom of the couch and throws the snake in and closes it. Comes and says hi. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm calling Julie. I'm like, Julie, my cat is bringing snakes in the house. And she's like, are you still in the house? And I'm like, yes, but I'm getting ready to leave. And she's like, okay, I'm on my way. So I go out the back door. So I'm on the back porch and I'm waiting for my aunt to come to the house because she's like 4 houses down. I will see Nico go out the door and walk around to the side of the yard and then come back with another snake. And she's just like, when you say hi to a cat and their tail pops up, she just looks at me, tail pops up, goes back up to the cat door, brings it into my room. And I'm like, no, no.
Oh my God.
She found a whole fucking nest and she was just putting them in the house. I don't
Uh,
know. Like she was putting them in places like she was keeping them because she was like hiding them under the couch, putting them in the pantry. And I'm like, why are you doing this?
what kind of snakes were they? Do you remember?
They were like little garden snakes.
Okay, that's good at least.
Yeah, they weren't like poisonous snakes. There's like we lived in a heavily wooded area, and there was just like a little family of garden snakes that lived in the corner where we had a garden for a while. So she was just bringing those, and they were all baby snakes. So she found the nest.
Man, yeah, that's horrifying. See, if that happened at my place where I grew up, it would have been copperheads. Like
Ooh.
my mom got bit by one right after we moved out there. It was a baby copperhead that could barely puncture her skin. Like its mouth was so tiny. So
Hmm.
like she didn't die or anything, but she was out gardening and it just like bit her leg as it was going by and her whole leg swelled up.
Oh my god.
And she had to go to the ER and everything. And the doctor was just like, yeah, you're lucky that it couldn't like bite deeper or she
Snakes
would have
are the
lost her leg.
weirdest. Yeah, it was. My god, that cat. Oh, she brought so much stuff into the house.
Our cats were all outdoors except for we always had like one cat that would be like the indoor cat, everyone else was outside. um so they would bring shit to the garage constantly, like, but so we'd have snakes and rats and shit in the garage, but they kept the barn clean.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have my cats be just indoors when I lived with my parents, so I had to have a cat door for them to come in and out, which of course was great because I had possums and raccoons in my room at night.
That's horrifying.
like I had a little light next to my bed, and I was sleeping, and like Quetzalcoatl was an orange tabby. He was like a sick old man. He had feline leukemia, and so like that's why I didn't want him outside because it spreads like crazy.
Hmm.
So I hear this noise, and I reach over, and Quetzalcoatl, like I had a pillow for me and I had one for him, and he always slept on the pillow next to me. So I reach over, Quetzalcoatl's there. So I turn on the light, and there's just a fucking possum looks up from the cat food, is like, and he doesn't leave. He stays and keeps eating. I just turned the light back off and went to sleep. I was just like,
In, in all fairness, so raccoons, adorable as they are, I would never want a wild one near me.
yeah,
They will attack. They are vicious. Possums won't. They'll hiss at you and then their whole body will just seize. Um, and then they'll go and eat ticks. Like
yeah.
if I had to choose about finding one in my room, it would be a possum. That said, the amount of times that I'm walking through my apartment in the dark and Sarabi, her abdomen's distended from when her kidney like exploded.
Hmm.
So she's oddly shaped for a cat. And so it's the middle of the night. I don't turn on lights. I'm just going to like the bathroom or something. And then Sarabi just like in front of my feet literally scuttles. And every time it happens, I'm like, is it Sarabi or did a raccoon break in? And I have panicked a few times before I'm like turning on every light. I'm like, oh my god, it's just you.
Cats, man.
I love them. They're the best.
They really are.
Coco's still just barely out of my reach right now. Like I've never been teased more in my life.
Katan's just sitting on my desk right now. Like,
Aw,
I have the blanket set up over there, so she's in her little fleece blanket,
nested.
eating.
Oh,
Trying to clean her paw, but she doesn't have the teeth to keep the tongue straight, so just like.
oh. I never think about how much they use their teeth for.
Yeah.
There's a toothless cat on TikTok who's really famous. I'll have to send you some videos sometimes. She's really great.
It's like I love that the toothless cat is the one that everybody in the house is afraid of. Like Bane and Bahamut are actually starting to get along now, but like if Kitan walks through the hallway, the animals part ways. Like they just
Oh
just
yeah.
move away.
No, the amount of times that like when I was house sitting that I'd be like, "Okay, dogs, let's go to bed," and then like let them out and then take them back upstairs, and Raiden just will stop in the middle of the steps because Katan's just sitting up there, and I'm just like, "Katan, go away."
Yeah. It's like she's small, she has no teeth, but she intimidates everybody.
Bane
My cat.
wasn't as scared as Raiden is though, because if Catan sat there and I was like, Catan, move. If she didn't move, and I would just be like, upstairs, Bane would start to go, and then Catan would leave. Then Raiden would go, but Raiden would not move until she was gone.
Yeah, they've gotten into it before. So when we first got Raiden, she legit like ripped his nose open and he was bleeding on the floor.
Oh, poor
And then
baby.
he bit her once. We had to take her to the vet because he tore up her arm. So they've gotten into it before. So they kind of have like a mutual respect now because they've beaten the hell out of each other. Bane is now taken up the tactic of I'm going to wait for her to leave, but if she doesn't leave, she tries to run by. So when Kitan hits her, she's already on her way out. Sometimes it's the innocent cute one you gotta watch. Yeah, she is angry at anything that is not a person.
She's the smallest animal in your entire home
She is.
and the most threatening.
Yeah. Well, Well, she's the one that grew up outside.
No,
Like she had Quetzalcoatl that she was raised with, and he used to beat the fuck out of her. Like you could hear his paw hit her skull, and like the
God
brain
damn.
rattle around in there. Like so, she learned from the best. Like I think Balrog's so easygoing because when we got him, him and Raiden got along right away. Like he rolled over when he saw Raiden, like just kill me, it's over. I know. And Raiden just stuck his nose in his belly and pushed him around the house like he was like a little Swiffer.
Oh.
Because he was still a young doggo then, and Balrog was still a baby, so that's how
Mm-hmm.
they would play. He would just push him around the house.
That's adorable.
So that's why Balrog's so easygoing. He legit just like gave up on life on day one with Raiden. Raiden played with him.
He's just so heavy as all.
Yeah, he used to be a very thin athletic cat that would do like crazy acrobatic moves, and since it didn't work, he just decided to go just pure heavyweight, and it's worked out.
I just love, like, he would jump on my lap when I was trying to work, and it would just be like, oh!
Yeah.
And I was never
So,
prepared for it. So, like, the way I sit, my legs actually, like, lean downward. So he would try to jump up on my legs, and I'd be like, huh! And I wasn't ready for him. And then he'd start to slide off, and then I'm trying to catch him, but he's like 30 pounds, and I'm like, oh, God.
yeah, he's a big boy. So we have engaged in witty banter for about 30 minutes.
Such is the timeline.
So, hey everybody, welcome to our Dead Talk. Today we have the Demogorgon, and spoiler alerts are in effect for anybody that hasn't seen Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So,
Though, in all fairness, I realized at about 4 p.m. today that I don't remember anything
I
from the
remember
show.
bits and pieces.
I remember Christmas lights
Yes.
and a pool.
And a bear trap.
There's
And
a bear trap?
yeah, they set a trap for it. Okay,
Oh.
so Demogorgon's from the Upside Down.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the scientists that are studying it. Apparently, it has the ability to make people feel scared.
Yes.
Like it has the telepathic ability to do that, as well as has
Dread and fatigue.
yeah, and the ability to influence electrical equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it traverses the Upside Down through buttholes, and it can. I think it can actually manipulate some objects while it's in the Upside Down, but not like a whole lot. But anyway, the Nancy and Steve and Jonathan actually set a trap for it in the house with the light bulbs.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, now I
and
remember.
they had the bear trap. Nancy had the gun, and then they were just gonna light the fucking house on fire.
I
Like,
remember now.
and it hurt it, but it didn't kill it. So,
Which tells you this thing's strong as hell.
but did you read any of the add-ons? Because I thought that shit was fascinating.
I did. I didn't get much from it other than, like, a lot of the flora of the Upside Down, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the moss and the
The
lichen,
lichen.
yeah, and the mushrooms, the thorns, the webbing, the goo.
Yeah.
A lot of flora in the Upside Down.
Yes. So, who do you think is first dead?
I didn't I didn't think about who would be first dead. All I said to myself was, I want Adam to live.
My thought, you gotta follow my thought processes here.
Okay.
Michaela.
Okay.
because when we saw Michaela, we are like, wow, Dino really looks like Michaela. You know who else Dino looks like? Barb.
Okay, you know what? Fine. Fine. The Barb glasses come back. I can do this for an hour and a half. God,
So
look at me.
yeah, that's why I was like, it's Michaela, Nancy's gonna end up being like, oh my god, she reminds me of Barb, and then she's gonna end up shagging Steve by the pool. Michaela's out there with her fucking book and gets yeeted into the upside down by the Demogorgon.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And then last survivor, I had
But
Nancy
nobody
and
has ever
Steve.
made that comparison.
Nancy, Steve, and Meg.
As your last survivors?
Yes.
I did think it would be appropriate for Nancy and Steve to.
It's like they've made it through before.
I can't type. My eyes are just. These glasses are only just slightly off of my current prescription.
It's like I feel bad killing the most recent survivor, but I mean that reasoning is flawless.
It checks out. I want to see. Give me like a second. I want to see if I can find. Remember when we did makeup night?
Yes.
I want to.
I was the wall with the Christmas lights.
Ah, yes. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find the pictures Aaron took. Maybe.
So it's like I dressed up for all those things, but I did not put a lot of effort into any of it. Like video game night, I was the ghost from Pac-Man. It was just a blanket with holes cut in it.
Oh god, I found my Ron Swanson costume. That's still one of my best to this day.
Or the Nickelodeon day, and what's her name just drew Daggett from the Angry Beavers on my face for me.
Oh god, I remember that. I'm looking at that one right now. Okay. Where's Stranger Things? It's got to be around here somewhere. There's fucking what was it called? Johnny Depp night.
Yeah.
It was after Johnny Depp night. When was it? There's video game characters where I did Borderlands. My Barb pictures are lost forever.
Oh no.
Yeah, because there's the 80s glam. It was the same year as we did the 80s glam night.
Like I feel like I've seen them recently for some reason.
But I will expose myself here and now. This is me in the middle as Ron Swans. And my sister was Leslie Nope. And it is. I also kind of look like the BTK killer at the same time. But this is one of my favorite costumes that I've ever done, ever. And I love it so much.
My god, you look so different when you were young.
I know, literally me 7 years ago, like I've aged so fucking much. Hold on, let's see. Oh, my old clown costume. I remember that. No, I was adorable when I was 20. I look back at pictures of when I was like 20 years old and I was like, I was precious. The fuck happened in a decade? Oh, I moved to Los Angeles. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Really ruined me from the inside. Yeah, I think the Stranger Thing pictures are actually in the makeup group, but I think I got kicked out of it when I stopped working there.
That makes sense.
Unless
I vo- I voted in that group for a long time before they finally realized that I was still there.
let me check Aaron's shit because it might be maybe maybe not. There's the Dent glamour shots. She just has like a million photos.
Yeah.
Oh, to be an internet celebrity. Their wedding looked cool as fuck, though. Did you see pictures from it?
Nah.
She had a red wedding dress.
Nice.
I'm sorry, is that her with Trixie Mattel? Holy shit, she got a picture with Trixie. I've never actually been jealous of Aaron before, but now I am. Oh well, the photos of me as Barb exist somewhere on the internet, and I will never find
Yeah.
them.
One day, if we find them, we can upload them to the Discord or something.
You met Joe Swanson from fucking Family Guy. Oh my god, no. No, absolutely not.
All
You...
right. So let's kill some bitches.
All right, Michaela's first dead. Barb bait.
Yep. Nancy was like,
I can't wear
"You
these.
look just." Nancy was just like, "You look just so much like Barb. I feel so bad for, you know, her dying while I was banging Steve, and then everybody forgot about her. Let me just do the exact same thing to you. I'm a good friend."
The resurface when you're rich and famous and Twitter wants to ruin you. I don't think that'd be a way to ruin me. They were great. I still have the costume. Like I could just do it again. My hair is longer though, so it's difficult. Okay, so Michaela reminds Nancy of Barb. Nancy and Steve go to bang. Michaela gets just dragged into the upside down. We never see her again.
Yep.
Done. Um,
Nobody ever mentions her again.
they do mention her. There's a whole episode where Nancy goes to talk to Barb's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. We need a plot.
Yeah, we really do.
Because otherwise, like, I just be like, yeah, then he just. The Demogorgon comes out of a butthole in Elodie's room and rips her to shreds, and then goes back in the butthole and resurfaces, and now he's in Fung's room, and like.
Demogorgon just kills everybody. Like, sorry, he just came out of the butthole. Nobody was expecting it. The end.
Shortest dead talk ever.
The witty banter took longer than the dead talk. But I mean, Nancy and Steve have been through this before.
They have.
So wouldn't they go get the teen squad involved?
Oh, easily.
So they alert the teen squad, and then it would probably just spread out from there. We got the cops involved because Michaela went missing. And probably really sus that it happened at Steve's house again under the exact same circumstances.
That darn swimming pool.
I know.
Um okay, so they can get the teen squad. Somebody eventually calls that Michaela is missing. I think I could see Elodie and Zarina kind of doing their own independent sleuthing.
I also want to throw out that I also think Jake is going to die because he's an outdoorsman out on his
Oh
own.
no.
Just drag it like before they even like nobody even knows where Jake is. He's
Nobody
just out in the woods. He
nobody
just
even knows
dies.
Jake exists.
Yeah, he's been gone for a
They're out
while.
searching for Michaela. They find a beanie and they're like, this is weird.
Where did that come from? Probably blew in on a breeze.
Bill can be
Bert.
that old guy who like has a story of like when I was young, I remember kids went missing all the time and nobody ever believed me.
Yeah. Bill believes in his heart of hearts that Demogorgon exists and that he's seen it before. It's
That's
the
why
one that
he's
got
that's
away.
why he has a stockpile of like weaponry if it ever shows its face around here again.
I say, of people that are likely to get picked off as the investigation's going on, I feel like Jake and Nia are probably going to be high risk.
We can also throw Claudette in there if we want to say she's out doing some botany stuff.
I actually want to keep Claudette around for when we
For the
actually.
special botany.
Yes.
I'm on the same page as you. I like that. So we can get rid of Jake and Nia. Who else is
Death,
easily expendable?
death by butthole. Um,
Dwight.
Dwight would be with David. I feel like they might be okay for a bit. I could see Kate going down. She goes out in the woods all the time, plays for no fucking reason.
You right, you right. That's a good one. Who else? Because if we can just eliminate some people who just mysteriously go vanishing.
Because like that's what I've noticed with Demo is that he doesn't seem to go for a lot of like multiple targets at once.
He
Like
picks them off.
it seems to prefer to go one at a time.
Yeah. Which
So
means
people that are likely to be paired up are probably not going to be.
which means Yunjin would be
Oh no.
on her own.
Yeah.
So she would be one to go.
That's when they know shit's really hit the fan, like that it's something that's killing them because they see one of her nails broken off on the
Oh
ground
god, no.
and like
And no one actually ever heard about it is where it was like the clue.
dirt on her shoe
Oh my gosh.
that is like $300 a shoe. Like
There's
there's no fucking way.
some of the fur from her coat, just like tufts of it,
Mhm.
just scattered around. You know, like kind
They're
of
like,
how after a cat gets a bird.
yeah,
See, your conversation we had earlier, it totally ties in.
it does. That's when they really start to take it seriously because Yunjin's a high profile and there's no way she a $300 shoe, let it get dirt on it, let her fur coat get ripped up, and one of her nails goes and breaks off. There's no fucking way.
So Jake and Kate both just like vanish in the woods. Nobody ever
Yeah.
hears from them.
Yeah, they just
Nia,
assume that Kate's out like getting that musical inspiration or some shit.
right. Nia, honestly, I could see her tagging Steve's empty pool.
Yeah. How
And
many
just
times has Nia died tagging stuff? Like, honest to God.
it's a trope at this point. No joke. Okay, so Michaela goes missing, and then like a couple of weeks later, Nia just like breaks into Steve's place and is tagging the pool, finds like her glasses, and like this is cool, and just like keeps at it, and then Demogorgon shows
Yeah.
up, and then Yunjin, the one that's really gonna draw attention, get the police
Yeah.
involved.
I don't know where she's at that she's gonna get attacked by Demo, but
Mm, I couldn't see her just like chilling out in the woods at all.
no.
Um,
I could see her going to like so it takes place in Indiana, I would assume,
unfortunately.
which means she's probably like passing through and has to go to like one of the really shitty gas station bathrooms. I could see Demo getting the embarrassing bathroom death at a rickety speedway in Hawkins,
Outs- I was
Indiana.
gonna say outside of Lafayette.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Lord Silphoebe.
Oh my
Going
gosh.
good. So yes, our embarrassing bathroom death will go to Yunjin. We haven't had a bathroom death in a while.
The last one we had was also at a gas station.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Ironic. It was Jeff against the Wraith. Okay. So
So now the police are really involved.
now they actually give a
The
shit.
Yeah, the teen squad's already been involved. They've been
Ever since
like
Michaela went missing.
yeah, they've been in the background like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Um
I imagine this timeline is actually like a couple of weeks.
yeah.
Slow burn of murder. Tag your fanfic. Um
Okay, so you know how Nancy and Jonathan go to that conspiracy theorist dude for help?
yes.
So how do you feel about the teen squad trying to find some help with a supernatural thing and they're like, I've heard of a guy.
Ash.
Yeah. The teen squad gets a new leader and his name is Ashley Williams.
Yes!
They come
100%.
they come to get him and he's like, yeah, I've banged a ghost before.
Oh my god.
It was in a bathroom too, so you know it's related.
No, that's great. No, I absolutely love that.
Oh my god.
I was thinking at first you were going for Bill. And then I was
No.
but yeah, no, Ash is perfect. That's great. And then Ash has his girl Elodie on speed dial also because she
Yeah.
knows all of the occult shit.
Hmm.
And he's just like, this is a big one. We got a bunch of missing people. I need your help. So we have Elodie and Ash teaming up.
Oh
Please.
my god, it's beautiful.
This is what I've
He's calling
needed.
in all the favors.
Who else could he call in then?
Okay, so he's calling in Elodie. Let's see.
He could call in Bill for ammunition.
Yeah, he might call in Bill. Bill's probably like responsible for half of his attachments at this point. Um,
So we got the leader, the brains, the muscle.
I feel like he would call Ace for some reason.
The luck.
I don't. Yeah.
Ace is just his good luck charm.
Yeah, he's like the lucky rabbit's foot, except it's just a lucky Ace. And nobody wants him around because he smells funny. But Ash insists.
I love this. Okay, hold on. Let me take note real quick. So we have the teen squad together. This is Nancy, Steve, Lori, Quentin, Fung, and Cheryl, right?
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
6. We also have, they go to Ash, who pulls
Yes.
together his elite squad of Elodie, who I feel like is the only actual capable one,
Yeah.
Bill and Ace.
Yeah.
And we have the cops. So David, Jill, and Leon are investigating.
That was, oh yeah, David. I keep whenever somebody says David, I think it's David King and not Tap.
Did I say David and not Tap?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean technically David,
it is his
Detective
name.
David Tap, but I'm just not used to hearing it.
No, I usually say Tap, so that's also on me. I don't know why I said David. So Tap, Jill, Leon. Hired by the teens. Okay.
Zarina's probably doing research on what happened to them, so she's probably doing herself a nice little story.
We could.
I could see Jane there for talk shows, like trying to talk to friends and stuff.
Zarina could go missing while she's doing her own personal investigation stuff. Hold on. Let me just put a note here. All right, so Jane's show is like interviewing family in the most vulturistic way. All right, so we need to take care of what Felix, Jeff, Adam, David, Claude, Megan, Dwight are doing.
I could see Adam and Claudette being called in as like research people.
Called in by
The the Hawkins actual the lab.
oh, like they actually work at the fucking lab.
Yeah.
No, that would be so cool. Okay. Adam and Claudette. Claudette would love that job.
Oh yeah.
They're just like, we brought back some mushrooms, and she's just like, I love fungus. My sister literally bought moss, by the way. God. Fucking biology nerds, man. Anyway.
Okay, so Dwight and David will probably be together. That leaves Meg, Jeff, Yui.
Oh yeah, Yui. I forgot about Yui. So Meg was on your list to live.
For one reason and one reason alone.
She can run fast.
What would happen to Megan if she had the red moss? Considering the description, consuming its leaf enhances athletic performance and causes euphoria. It's like imagining Mecha Meg.
No, that's great. That's amazing. I love that. That's phenomenal. Okay, cool. Do we want Meg to also work at the lab?
Yeah, she volunteers as a test subject, like how you go and get college students. You give them $10 to do something.
Yes.
Like $10 to eat this moss.
You know what? Yeah, because that lab was ran by some sketchy ass people. They would absolutely do shit like that. The 80s were wild.
And Dwight in there too, because I feel like they might be looking for some extra cash.
Okay, so let me actually put them slightly separate then. So Meg, Dwight, and David, lab rats.
So Meg would get the red moss. Could give Dwight the leprous lichen.
Causes severe hallucinations.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's see, what other options are there?
Let's see.
There's the mushrooms that are just like inconclusive and
Gonna say the violet wax cap, a dark flesh mushroom from the upside down that allows the Demogorgon to telepathically distort the senses in its prey. We could send Dwight and David on a fucking rampage.
or
that's what draws the attention over to Hawkins' lab is literally the fact that there was a goddamn bloodbath. Like, there is one person that survived in this study, and it was Meg because she's hopped up on red moss and has like fucking superpowers and can run like crazy. But Dwight and David were just hallucinating and just killing everybody.
oh man. Adam. Adam can be the sole survivor from the
Oh well,
lab
they were,
massacre.
they always have different people. Like they got the people that are like in the lab doing research, and then they got the people that deal with the, that actually give the tests out.
Okay, okay.
So they didn't necessarily kill the researchers; they just killed the people that were administering.
Who else did we have left to add to this?
Felix
And Jeff.
and Jeff.
And Yui.
Yes.
I mean, we could just easily make them also lab workers.
I couldn't see them being lab workers.
Jeff's the janitor.
Jeff is in charge of cleaning the needles.
Yes.
I just needed somebody that's really good at that.
He's the cleanest man in this entire roster. I will stand by that to this day. Until they get rid of the perk aftercare, which is about tattoos and not bondage. Everyone.
What if Felix ended up working with Elodie, since he tends to at least being her social network? So he volunteers to go and work at the lab as like a spy. Ash is doing like all the crazy shit that has nothing to do with Demo, but Elodie's actually like being the responsible person. And she might she might have connections with Yui.
So Yui,
in case something goes wrong, so Yui can protect Felix.
So okay, hold on. So Adam, Claudette, and Jeff legitimately work at the lab. Yes. Yui also legitimately works at the lab, but also is very closely tied to Elodie, who's been investigating like the weird shit that happens at Hawkins' lab.
Yes.
Elodie sends Felix in as a secret agent.
Yes.
Because he does have that 007 look about him.
He does, and
it's the suit.
He gives me the impression that he's got like connections. If nothing else, he might be able to get like a tour of the facility.
Ooh, I could see that. Okay.
He's an investor.
Okay. I like this.
All right.
So, the teens have hired Ash, who brings along his merry gang to try to. I guess if we go with the Barb plot line, they're not accepting Michaela's dead. Yeah. And they're going to try to save her from the Upside Down. So that's what these all are doing. Tap, Jill, and Leon are actively looking into all of the missing persons, mostly Yunjin. And then Zarina doing her own investigation. Jane, talk show host, vulturing on the families.
Yeah.
Adam and Claudette doing a lot of research at the lab. Jeff cleaning. He also works in the lab. He cleans the equipment. Yui, I don't know what she does at the lab, but she also works there.
They didn't hire her for the scientific work. They hired her because she's terrifying. If Demo breaks in, they're like, I think she might be able to take him.
I love that. And then Meg, Dwight, and David are test subjects within the lab.
Yeah.
Do we want to go straight to Dwight and David at the lab?
Dwight and David, they die there after going on a fucking murder spree and killing a bunch of employees until because they consumed the lichen and the mushroom, started hallucinating, and
God, I wish I could spell. Do we want them to take care of anybody from this lab list plus Felix?
Let's have them take Jeff.
Oh, tragic. I knew you were going to say that.
Hey, everybody in that group has the capacity to run the fuck away, but Jeff just is not that fit.
Oh, to be caught between David and Dwight. One would say it is but a dream. Okay. Um I
So I feel like
think
at that point, like Adam, Claudette, Yui, and Meg would be together in a group because Meg consumed the red moss and is now like,
Super Meg.
yes, Mega Meg.
A mega head. Um okay. So I think that they obviously wouldn't, the cops would never know about this.
No.
Never. But I could see Felix passing the word on to Elodie.
Yeah.
And so this whole group here would then know about
The
the
facility.
the experiment that just happened.
Yes. I could
And
also see Zarina like tailing Nancy and Steve at this point, and she like goes to the facility with them and then dives there.
I could see Zarina actually being ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, that's also a possibility.
I could see her tailing like Adam or Claudette and them just like never fucking realizing ever.
I don't know how we're gonna get Jane involved in all this.
Oh, it'll happen. We'll find a way.
Okay.
This is like Jurassic Park. Nature finds a way. Okay, so Zarina could actually have been a casualty of the Dwight David thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to spell casualty. That's apparently right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um okay, so take care of Zarina. Do we want to focus on the teen squad and their leaders of the supernatural, or do we want to turn our attention to the cops?
Generally, I feel like, especially with Stranger Things, the cops don't do that great of a job.
Yeah, no, I was totally gonna have them like out in the woods searching for clues and just get
Yeah.
picked off one by one. First Leon,
Yeah.
first Leon, then Jill, then Tap.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So we want to just knock them out real quick.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
It's like they've experienced a lot of this stuff, but I mean, no one expects the butthole.
It's much like the Spanish Inquisition. All right. Tap can actually see Jill get attacked, and then he's just like, gotta go, and like, but he can't run that fast because he's old. Okay.
He's trying to radio in for support, but Demo interrupts the
Because,
transmission. They've been
oh
trying
my
to reach out for backup
god.
for like an hour.
Oh my god. I love that.
So I could see Jane reaching out to Nancy and Steve for interviews,
Mm-hmm.
and Ash, being the fucking genius that he is, just goes, "Yeah, we're gonna go do that interview." And by we, I mean Ash is going to show up with Nancy and Steve, and he's gonna fucking blab about the laboratory. Like Nancy and Steve never even get to say anything. Just fucking Ash.
I love that. That's not how you spell Ash. This isn't League. Did you see Leaks getting a TV show?
Yes,
Are you gonna watch it?
probably.
Good. I don't think I will, but I thought of you. Every time I see the trailer, I'm just like, I hope Zen loves this.
It's like I've only seen 3 of the League of Legends characters. I saw Jinx and V, and then I saw the Donger. So
That sounds like a
I
really
could.
dirty name, I'm not gonna lie.
His name is Heimerdinger, and he has turrets, and everyone calls them Dongers.
Oh.
So everybody was like, "Raise your Dongers!" whenever they were playing Heimerdinger's voice line that says, "Raise your what?"
That's hilarious.
I used to be a Heimerdinger main back when Twisted Tree Line was still around.
Oh gosh, I love that.
Oh,
Um,
so now I feel like Jane's gonna go to the place with her camera crew.
show up to the
Like
lab.
the whole gang's going in now.
If we send Jane first by herself, we can get her taken care of.
Yeah. I could also see like taking her to one of the buttholes and is like, all right, check this out. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in here to this underground thing and just like takes out his chainsaw arm and just starts chainsawing the butthole and just destroys it. And he's just like, okay, well that didn't work. We'll get back to you.
I could see Jane doing the whole thing of like on camera, the recording, and she's just like, I'm outside Hawkins' lab, and then like the camera just starts going like all fuzzy and shit.
Yeah.
And you just hear like between the static and occasionally it focuses in, but it's like all off kilter and shaky cam, and you just hear screams and
Yeah.
like the Demogorgon.
It's like Cloverfield up in there.
Yes, exactly. You know what? Just gets Cloverfielded.
I love that movie.
Like, thank you. I know so many people who hate Cloverfield. I
I got to see it twice in the movie theater. The first time I saw the whole thing, and the second time I waited until they were done at the party, and then I showed up. So I showed like purposely 15 minutes late to the movie to get to the good shit.
yeah, the party part was just so and actually I had to watch it. I never saw it in theaters. I remember like I rented it because I was like, this is exactly the type of movie I would like. And I just remember like watching the first couple of minutes and be like, I hate this. And I turned it off. And I had to come back to it a couple of years later where I was like, no, this is amazing. And then have you seen Cloverfield Lane too?
Yes. Loved it.
Fucking love that so much.
The sequel on Netflix though was ass.
It was. I was so disappointed. It was so bad.
I did love that Cloverfield had a an Easter egg to the giant movie monsters. That made me happy.
Yes. It was just it's such a good universe.
It really is.
I love it.
I feel like we all do have that stupid friend that would try and go back for somebody. And everybody's just like, oh my god, this guy's gonna fucking die if we don't help. God damn it. Okay. So we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this part now.
This is all of our main characters right here.
Yes.
We've killed off, we've trimmed the fat, and we're ready to render the tallow. Let's go.
Yes. So I feel like Nancy and Steve would describe to the teen squad, Felix, Bill, and Elodie what they did. I feel like Ash would just like be like, no, 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 I've done this before. And Ace is like at this point like his yes man. He's just cheering him on. The hype squad. And then possibly Claudette and Adam might give Yui the red moth too. So that we can have two
That's
very
terrifying.
yeah.
The hesitation in your voice.
Yui is just a fucking monster at that point.
Okay, okay. I could see Adam, Claudette, Megan, Yui actually just like barricaded somewhere in the lab.
Mm-hmm.
where they're like, we're safe in here. And then
Hmm.
your whole idea of, let's give Yui some mods.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure if they told Yui, they're like, it'll make you as strong as this girl here, Yui would be like, hell yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm already stronger than she is, but let's see what happens.
um, all right. So there's that. And then,
So they might start setting up some traps. The teen squad and the gang. I feel like Ash is just gonna try and fight him mano a mano. Like, okay, we're gonna lead him through these traps and then I'm gonna fight him.
I think, yes, they set up traps. I think Ash could convince Ace to play bait.
Probably. That's how Ace just fucking dies.
Yes, 100%. Poor Ace. How unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay. It's like I have faith in the teen squad because, like, Demo really only took out one teenager.
I mean, technically, also Will.
Well, Will didn't die.
He did get caught, though, and dragged into the Upside Down. So we could have some of these not as survivors, but not dead.
Yeah.
They could just go to the Upside Down.
Just send Quentin in there, and Quentin's like, it's not as bad as some other places I've been to. Cheryl's in there. She's like, yeah, fine. This is like a vacation home. Just completely fine. No
Okay.
fucks given.
If they break into the lab, why is it doing that? Like say they tried to set up some traps like out in the woods, for example, because that's where a
Mhm.
bunch of people have been going missing, right?
Yeah.
So they try to set up some traps there. Ace gets caught as bait. Um, Ash is heartbroken. Lost his best friend. Just over dramatic mourning.
Has
But
another moment where he's just like, everybody I love gets killed.
uh, and but did actually successfully protect everyone else from the Demogorgon, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and then they're like, okay, our next shot, we should hit this where it starts and break into the lab
Yeah.
because that was like a whole plot thing, right?
Yes.
So this gang could go into the lab. They find that one room with the wall vagina. Quentin and
Okay.
Cheryl can go inside.
I could also see, since Fung is a gamer, like Ash just automatically assumes that she's a hacker. He's like, you know computers, right? And she's like, I play Pac-Man. Yeah, 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 on the computer, right?
I'm really cracked at Fortnite, dude. um, no, that would be hilarious. And
And she's
then,
just
but what
sitting there like, what
happens
the
is,
fuck is this? It's a modem and it's going.
but like, while she's trying her best, the Demogorgon shows up and messes with all of like the technology, and so all of a sudden the computers just like get all fuzzy, and then doors just start unlocking everywhere. And Ash is like, "Well done, kiddo,"
Yeah.
and she's like, "Yeah."
Little did he know that she had managed to pull up Oregon Trail, and that was it.
She found the online emulator.
Like Ash was yelling at her. She knew she couldn't do it. She had Oregon Trail named everybody, systematically watching them all die of dysentery. Uh,
All right, so that's how they can get inside.
yeah.
And then from here, we can just get rid of Quentin and Cheryl. And
I think
Bill
he would volunteer to go in.
would be like, I have friends in there.
Yeah.
And also I could see him wanting to also like make sure that like Quentin and Cheryl don't die.
Yeah.
So we never see them again.
Yeah.
Easy
Maybe
enough.
there'll be a sequel.
Ooh. Or will there, because Demo's gone next week.
Well, maybe he'll get replaced by something else.
A bird? A
Uh
bird lady? No, they
From the
actually
bowels of the butthole comes the bird.
the crow's nests are actually just the buttholes but sized down. All right.
We can have the rest of the gang find Adam, Claudette, Meg, and Yui.
Okay.
Which, if they mention the red moss at any point, you know Ash is gonna want it because he's gonna think it's gonna be like Viagra.
Viagra for his muscles.
Yeah.
I just love the thought of them finding them and then Yui and Meg being so ready to fight that they just attack when the door opens and
Yeah.
Ash goes down and he's just like, it couldn't be better.
Oh my god.
What a way to go. Like, they don't kill him, but he gets the shit beat out of him and he loves it.
Yeah, like they jump on him and then he makes one wrong comment and Yui just busts his balls. Literally. Like Ash is gonna be a soprano for the rest of the week.
All right. And poor everyone else who has to watch.
Yeah.
Um,
But also knowing who's left in the party, no one really intervenes either.
True. Technically, Felix is actually down here with them because he's been in the lab.
Yeah.
Which means they were. It
They're
was only
literally
the teens and Ash and Elodie.
there was only one responsible adult in the party at the time.
That explains how this happened. Okay.
It's like trying to make a Canadian goose go where you want it to go.
I could see Elodie and Nancy teaming up for trying to figure out how to stop the Demogorgon from being able to come out.
Yeah.
I could see them that being their mission. Steve tagging along, but offering very little to the conversation other than looks.
I mean, look at Ash. I feel like Steve might look up to him because he's a guy with a shotgun and a chainsaw arm.
Who's
And
very good with the ladies.
the whole time he's been with Steve, he's like, let me teach you a thing or two. Like going through like all his
He brags about every
sexual successes.
Yes, every chance he gets. Yeah, no, that's 100%. It's Steve and Ash.
Steve's just hanging on his every word.
100%.
And so like him and Ash and Ace had been talking like the whole time until Ace got killed. And like everybody else is being like responsible in the back, like actually having a discussion on how to stop the Demogorgon.
Yeah,
So everybody has a legitimate plan except for Ash.
So I think Nancy and Elodie. So I think Elodie's kind of like leading the we need to solve a way for the Demogorgon to never come out again.
Yeah.
Her and Nancy are working together. When they find the rest of these, Obviously, she knows Felix,
Hmm.
and then she's probably heard of Adam and Claudette and knows that they know a lot too.
Yeah.
So those five are going to be the core. How do we seal the butthole
Yes.
gang? Ash and Steve. How do we blow up the butthole?
Yes.
Lori and Fung can be, when the Demogorgon comes back out, can be casualties.
My God, Lori's just been picking up moss and knitting blankets with it.
I don't know if I don't know if you can knit with moss. It falls
I mean,
apart so easily.
you've seen some of the shit that comes out of the buttholes. It's pretty like stiff and gooey.
Can you knit with stiff and gooey?
With enough determination, I'm sure you can come up with something.
Gross.
Maybe it's something with a hallucinogen in it. She thinks she's making a quilt. She's literally just been like knitting the same goo for the last 5 hours.
Disgusting. Um,
And then Meg and Yui are just on standby to go fight the Demogorgon.
they actually hear Ash and Steve talking about violence, and they're like, "Yes." And Ash is like, "Back for seconds, ladies."
Oh my God.
I really need to
Like,
watch the Evil Dead show.
I started on it. That's like, you can probably tell my quality of Ash knowledge like increasing as I watch it.
It's gotten better over the past couple months. Um,
Okay.
all I know about him is that line of, "So Nancy, can I string your racket?"
Oh God.
um, but yeah, so while they're forming plans, the Demogorgon can easily just come right back out and snatch up Lori or Fung or both.
Yeah. I think Lori.
Just because
Like,
if we think back to Halloween, she's not very observant.
no. Her reflexes aren't great either. I can just see like Demo coming out of a butthole, grabbing her, and just screaming, and then the butthole just slams shut.
Alrighty. Our numbers, they dwindle.
So how are they gonna beat Demo?
Ash's plan is to blow the whole lab up.
Okay.
100%. Like,
What
if
about the
if
rest of them?
if he could burn this place down, he thinks that will solve everything. Um, how did they? At the end of season 1, the kids thought they defeated the Demogorgon, right?
I think so.
How did they do it?
Hold on.
Because I remember they did the whole like Dungeons and Dragons thing. Let's look up the
Um,
Demogorgon weakness and
11 got him.
with psychic powers.
Yes.
So they need to give uh we could go off of the Vermilion web cap. Still experimenting with this specimen. So far our results are inconsistent. So we can use that as our
Mhm.
Deus Ex Machina. It can mean anything we want it to mean. And Claudette can be like, we suspect that it can give some psychic abilities to certain test subjects.
Yeah.
Here's Meg, our stand in 11.
I was gonna say Yui might volunteer too. She's a very responsible person.
She's a very responsible person and also one of the scientists, so I don't think she would do it if she knows that it's inconsistent and doesn't always
Okay.
work. Whereas
So
Meg is
Meg,
a test subject who's just probably just gonna do anything she's told, and they'll just be like, "We'll pay
who's
you $75 more."
she's been handling it really well, much better than those two other guys.
uh, Meg gets the mushroom. Wait, what's it specifically called? The Vermilion Webcap. I could just see her. They just like feed her the mushroom, and then like everybody's just staring at her, and they're like, "Do you feel anything?" Meanwhile, Ash is just like, "Come on, Steve, Fung." Steve and
I got
Fung both go with Ash because he's so proud of her hacking abilities. He's like, "This one's smart. I gotta keep her with me."
she's now part of his posse.
She just got
He's
like
he's jumping off Jeff, Ace, and the others. He's just like, these are my people.
and he's just like, "Come on, kids, we're gonna go explore and find out the best place, like the weakest structure points of this place to blow to smithereens." um, so those three can go off on their own,
Yes.
and the rest
They,
of these folk are sticking with Meg to as far as like her and Yui are gonna be the fighters if Demogorgon shows
yeah.
up.
They need Meg to learn how to do superpowers like right now.
Like immediately.
Yeah.
Um, while she's learning, Demogorgon could show up again, and Yui goes to fight it but isn't strong enough.
Yeah. Like she knows that she has to hold out for Meg to figure out her powers, so she goes and fights it alone, but she's not strong enough.
Tragic. Brr, brr, brr. Goodbye, Yui. I love that Meg became 11. This is fucking hilarious. Okay. And then
I think it'd be funny if Demo actually got a hold of Steve and Ash actually went
it,
in after him to save him, his little protege.
I love that. Poor Nancy when Fung tells her the news.
Yeah, Fung doesn't follow at all. Like Steve gets dragged in, Ash dives in after him to save his protege. Fung's just like, well, I'm going back to the responsible people.
All right, let's take care of those. That officially takes the let's blow up this place off of the
Yeah,
menu.
it's off the table.
Fun goes back, tells them Nancy's distraught. So sad. She's lost both her replacement Barb and Steve.
She's lost her Barb, her new Barb, and her Steve.
What a sad life Nancy lives.
I know. She can't keep a person in there.
Um, we. I really want Nancy to make it out of this alive.
Yeah.
Um, she's
I was
never.
gonna say
She's
technically Steve's not dead. He's just in the upside down.
technically he's not a survivor either, though.
Yeah, he's
Gone forever, but not forgotten.
yeah. I mean, you can escape the upside down,
You
so
can, and then you puke up slugs.
yes.
um.
He's just gonna come out with Ash just automatically an alcohol.
Just aged 10 years.
Yeah.
Um. So in the game, you get rid of the demo being able to come out through the upside down by just purely destroying the portal.
Yeah.
They rip it with their hands, but I'm sure there's tools and stuff around the lab. If Claudette and Adam were to give Felix the information of like, this is where the main portal is. This is where we first found the creature and the upside down, and where we've been gathering all of these beautiful plants.
Yes.
um, they could come up with a plan of, we just need to destroy the mother portal.
Yeah.
And that's when
So,
Fung comes back and says, I have terrible news.
yes. I think we need to lose at least one more person trying to do the main portal, possibly two,
I was
before
thinking at
Meg
least two.
finally gets her powers and finishes the job.
Oh, yeah. Um, at this point, I think Felix and Fung are the most expendable.
Yeah.
So, like, it could easily be them.
All right. So Fung and Felix die during the blood hole sealing.
Unsuccessful butthole sealing.
And then Meg finally gets a hold of her powers and is able to take Demo wherever she takes Demo, and she goes along with it.
So we get rid of Meg too?
And again, still alive, just in the, if she's gonna 11 this shit, she's got to go where 11 went.
Oh, that's true. Meg has to seal the portal from within.
Yes.
That makes these four our final survivors.
Yes. Our survivors who are outside the upside down.
Who are actually not normal survivors for us.
Yeah. Usually
So,
Nancy goes down
real
with
quick.
Steve.
Yeah. Pretty early on, typically. Uh, we've had Adam, Claudette, and Elodie. No, I don't think we've had Elodie live before, have we? Or maybe the nurse one. I think she did.
Possibly. She may have survived once.
Adam and Claudette have survived a couple times.
Yeah, Claude survived rape. Adam survived spirit.
Yes. I love it.
Okay. So, uh Nancy is distraught still over the loss of Barb. Sees Michaela and goes, "My god, she looks just like Barb." And Michaela dies just like Barb did.
Goth Barb.
Yeah. So, yeah, Michaela gets dragged into the upside down at the pool where Nancy is banging Steve again. Meanwhile, we have Jake, who's always been a woodsy guy, has a tendency to go and play her guitar in the middle of woods, and Nia, who goes and tags everything and decided to go and tag Steve's pool. They all go and get taken by the demo, but at this point they're not really super concerned. The police aren't, until Yunjin vanishes at a Indiana gas station, just a rundown speedway. She dies in that bathroom because there was nowhere else to stop in this god awful state. And
Excuse me, this is Indiana. It's actually Marathon.
okay, and they know that she was not taken of her own free will because there was a shoe, $300 shoe with some dirt on it. One of her nails was broken off, and then pieces of her fur coat were all over the bathroom. So they knew this was definitely not great.
Something bad
So,
happened here.
yeah, so the police are now on the case. Vanished in the gas station bathroom. Meanwhile, there's a group of people that are working at the lab, and a couple of people volunteered to be lab rats for some stuff that's been pulled out of the upside down. Dwight, David, and Meg are given some goodies. Unfortunately, the lichen and the mushroom cause some hallucinations or being slightly telepathically controlled by the Demogorgon. And they go on a fucking murdering spree, which Jeff is caught in. He was cleaning shit at the lab, and Zarina, who was trying to figure out where all these missing people were, was tailing Adam and Claudette, and got caught in the bloodlust between Dwight and David. Uh, Dwight and David did eventually get put down, though.
Unlucky.
Meanwhile, the police decide to go searching out in the woods. They do find the demo. They've been trying to radio for backup, but unfortunately, the demo interrupts pretty much any electrical device or radio. So they get taken down one by one without being able to successfully radio for backup. So Jane invites Nancy and Steve to go to her talk show to get interviewed, and Ash says that's a great idea. We should go. By we, he means he's going to go and he's going to do the talking, and he blabs about the laboratory, which they have. Was it Felix is like their mole because he called in his squad of professionals with Ace and Elodie and Bill. So he blabs about that. So Jane gets her camera crew to go, and she gets Cloverfielded outside of the lab, so the camera's shaking and everything.
Staticky, it just screams in the distance.
So Claude, Adam, Meg, and Yui end up bunkering themselves inside of an area, and they decide that
Felix is actually with them. I just didn't note it at the time.
And they decide that they're gonna get Yui because Meg is a fucking super powered being now, and Yui is much scarier than Meg, so gave her the moss to give her superpowers. Meanwhile, they decide the teen squad and Ash and his gang decide to set up traps. Ace is used as bait. It doesn't work. Demo it kills Ace. But they need to open up the lab, and Ash is like, "Hey, Fung, you know how to hack, right?" And Fung's like, "No." And he's like, "Well, you use computers." And she's like, "Yeah, I play video games." And he's like, "Okay, well, go and hack and open the lab up." And Fung ends up like running Oregon Trail and naming everything Ash and just like watching them all die of dysentery. And Demo ends up fucking with the electricity and opens up the lab, and Ash is like, "Good job." Like absolutely convinced that she did it.
She's his new favorite.
Yeah. Fung and Steve, because Steve has been hanging on his every word. Because
the idea of that dynamic, I love it so much.
Quentin and Cheryl get dragged into the Upside Down. Bill ends up volunteering to go in because he can't let them go alone and get killed. So they all go into the Upside Down. At that point, the gang finds the hiding people, Yui and Meg. When Ash kicks down the door, Yui and Meg beat the shit out of him. Ash likes it a bit too much. Yui kicks him in the balls. Lori ends up getting snatched into a butthole because she's unobservant. At which point they're like, "We need to do something right now." And Ash and Steve and reluctantly Fung decide to go and try and nuke the place, while everyone else decides to go the responsible route and want to seal up the place. So they decide to give Meg the Vermilion webcap in hopes that she'll get the powers required to seal up the buttholes. Unfortunately, she can't get the powers right away, and Demo shows up, and Yui decides to try and fight him until Meg gets her powers, and she's not strong enough, but it does buy him a little bit of time. Demo retreats after that, and then goes after Steve, who does get dragged into the Upside Down, but Ash is not going to let his little protege go down. So he dives into the butthole after him, probably fully expecting Fung to go. Fung is going back to the responsible adults the moment she sees Ash dive for it. She lets Nancy know that Steve is gone and joins up with the butthole ceiling. But unfortunately, it's not successful. Demo comes and gets Fung and Felix. And at this point, Meg finally gets her powers and takes the demo back to the Upside Down and seals the portal from within, leaving only Elodie, Nancy, Adam, and Claudette as the only people that are alive outside the Upside Down.
Beautiful. This was great.
Yes.
What a story. Just as a reminder for anybody who is watching, Stranger Things is out of the game on the 17th. I think the 15th is the last day you can actually like buy stuff from the shop. If I remember correctly, I can't remember if it's the 15th and then like everything's available till the 17th. Or like the lab is available until the 17th because I think the dates were a little bit different. But anyway, next week's your last chance to get Stranger Things. Is what I'm trying to say. So go do it because while you don't really need Steve and Nancy, their perks are going to be general perks now. Demo's just a blast to play.
Yeah.
So we need more demo puppers in the world. They are now an endangered species. Please go save them.
Yes.
So
we were originally going to do the pig next, but Peacock pulled Saw 3.
It did. I mean, I can rent if you feel that watching Saw, if you feel like watching Saw 3 is integral to us being able to successfully do the pig, I can rent it off of Amazon.
If I remember correctly, it is kind of integral to Amanda's development as a character.
Okay.
It's not a very good movie. Like, I warn you that. It's not a very good movie. But it does have her character development arc in there quite a bit.
Okay. Do you
like,
want
we get to see her do the work?
Do you want to do Pig next week as planned and try to watch Saw 3 this weekend?
Let's do it. Let's do Pig.
Okay.
Let's do Piggo.